Welcome. Welcome.
Well, welcome.
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 To the 14th episode of the AI in Recruitment, the podcast series where we dive into the fascinating and fast-paced world of artificial intelligence.
Fast-paced.
Fast-paced?
Yeah, fast-paced.
What did I say? It's fast-paced?
Fast-paced.
Fast-paced. Sorry for that. That's something else. In talent acquisition and recruitment, my name is Martijn Hemminga. I'm always joined by...
Yeah, well, Jasper Spanjaart. Hi, Martijn.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Yes. So we could record the intro again, but I think this is something to tell people. So we are... I'm ready for the holidays.
Yeah, or we're amateurs.
The holiday, not the holidays.
The holidays. Yeah, it's not Christmas yet.
It's not
just
Christmas
yet. No,
yet.
just yet. No, we're in the middle of summer. Well, it's starting to feel like summer more and more. At least, luckily, with the weather, the last few weeks have been horrendous just in terms of rain. So for me, summer seemed like a long way away. Watching the Tour de France, I'm used to having like 30 degrees outside, and it's just been horrible.
At this moment, it's okay.
Yeah,
I hope it will be okay because I stay in the Netherlands.
Yeah, well,
so I hope the weather will be okay.
I hope so too for you.
Yes. Do you have plans?
Yeah, probably in September. Probably go to Portugal for 10 days or so. Yeah, it's been not a lot of holidays this year with moving houses, so I'm more worried about my mortgage than any holidays or such. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to a little getaway, eating some Portuguese fish and just reading a book. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the 14th episode, it's an update of everything's going around. Yep. Well, not everything, because there's still a lot of...
Yeah, if we do everything, we sat here for at least an hour or 6, maybe 12, maybe an entire day.
Yes.
So it's good to, I guess, sort of do a little update because in this episode we're diving into some of the latest AI models that have taken the world by storm.
Yeah.
Just to name a few, we've got Claude, Perplexity, and Baidu's Ernie Turbo. But before we delve into those, let's start with a big announcement for the listeners in the Benelux.
Yes.
Because we've opened up the AI in Recruitment Benelux Award yet again for the second time.
Yeah.
And the award, part of the Recruitment Tech Awards, is inspired by a podcast and sort of aims to recognize, companies that have been innovative with AI, that leverage AI to really revolutionize recruitment, so to speak.
Yes. So last year we've got a knowledge marker as a winner.
Yep. Very worthy winner. Yep.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to seeing more groundbreaking entries this year. And there's a lot of...
they're groundbreaking. Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. But because I think last year was... maybe a start year with...
Yeah, it was a bit of a pilot, yeah. And also, we came to this space last year, and I think there were still companies that were trying to sort it out, like what do we want to do with AI? Where do we really solve problems for our customers rather than just coming up with a random AI solution? Because there were obviously companies who did that, but you're not going to bear the fruits of that very long term. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm keen to see what comes up this year.
Yeah. So I will invite all the vendors to send in their tool.
Yep.
If they make changes, add AI to it, just send in for the Recruitment Tech Awards, because it's part of the Recruitment Tech Awards.
Yep.
The 7th of November, we will have our annual conference.
Yep.
And then we also will announce the winner. So you can go to recruitmenttech.nl/awards for all information. It's aimed at companies within the Benelux.
Yeah.
So all the information is in Dutch. So if you have a branch in the Benelux, ask them to send in.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can't speak Dutch, just open it on Google Chrome and automatically translate with Google Translate, and you'll be able to find the AI box somewhere. So it runs until September 5th.
5th.
Yeah. So
September
you have
5th.
until September 5th to send in your entries, whether it be a case or just a supplier, right?
Yeah.
Both ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think it's also a good time to thank our sponsor. We usually lead it with this episode, but we're mixing it up because it's summer and we're lazy and we forget about stuff. But we're very thankful for our sponsor, the official sponsor of the AI and Recruitment podcast, 8Vans, the market leader in recruitment. They've trained their AI on a staggering 85 million resumes. Let 8Vans also accurately predict the best job for your candidates. go to advance.com to read more about their solution. I think it's about time we get on with the show, Martijn.
Yes. So we talk a lot about ChatGPT.
Oh, yes.
So, and we still have our small part episode.
ChatGPT will always be part of us.
Yes, ChatGPT news. But today we're talking about some other large language models.
Yeah.
And there is much more than we now talk about. So we will dive into Claude. We will dive into what's the other one?
Yeah, we've got a few. Perplexity.
Perplexity. And Ernie, not from Sesame Street.
Not from Sesame Street.
From Baidu.
Baidu, yeah, a Chinese company. Yeah, so we're starting up with Claude, which is a tool I've tried recently. So it's an AI language model developed by Anthropic. I've been trying it out for a while now, and we're sort of impressed with what it can do.
Mm-hmm.
It has 3 models, subtly named Haiku, Sonnet, and Opus. Whereas Haiku is really just a small, named after the Japanese sort of poems in it. The fast model, Opus, is the very large one. The update of the middle one, Sonnet, to 3.5, made it very powerful, and it sort of surpassed ChatGPT 4.0 according to some specialists. Overall, what I've sort of seen is that Claude is really good at writing easy to read texts, where the output of Gemini and ChatGPT sometimes could be a bit cringeworthy. American sales text, basically. Claude sort of writes it in a way that it sounds more human, I think, than the other AI models. It's also like when you mention generative AI, people immediately trend towards ChatGPT or Gemini for obvious reasons, the big 2 companies trying to dominate the market. But I think Claude is sort of impressed me. It can also write really simple programs. So if you ask it to write like a quiz about American politics, not that you would want it to, you give it like an option of 10 questions, and you give it a counter, sort of and some type of animation where you want an animation to pop up whether you get the wrong or the right answer.
So how old will be the next American president?
Oh, let's not get into that.
That kind of question.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But so you'll get a panel to sort of write the code. It works really neatly. You can see that it's still under development. From when I first used it to when I use it now. Because what else are you going to do? Just test out these tools. It's already very impressive, but I'm looking forward to see what it can do in the future.
Yeah. So how do you use it for text writing? Is it more the idea?
More ideas.
Or rewrite things.
Like when you need, say you've got an article that you read and you go, well, I can't be bothered to read 2,000 words. Well, then I'll just put it in there and it'll just give me a nice summary. The same I'll use ChatGPT.
But does it still ChatGPT? If you ask ChatGPT and the paid version to make a summary in 20 lines, it make 30 or
it'll always I think.
And how does
Claude? I think it's the same. I can't fully remember. I think it sticks to the task a little bit more. Because that's something I've been annoyed with ChatGPT. You think you give it a fairly simple prompt, and it's just gonna do something else.
Yeah.
Or you say, I don't want any bullet points, and it's just gonna give you. Gemini loves bullet points for some reason. You're just getting bullet points, whether you ask them or not.
Yeah.
I think with this, but I also use it like if you say you've written a nice article and you're worried about the intro, and how do you make this intro sort of optimized for reading? How do you make sure that the mission of the article is concrete in the first 3 sentences, for example? And it's proven to be quite useful for that. It's really just a brainstorming partner and co-pilot like all the other AI tools. But it's impressive.
Well, I think it's especially not for the. We talk a lot about the job posts, rewrite them to make some short for social media, some short texts for them, but also for some articles for your employer branding, recruitment marketing. It's very very useful.
Yeah,
I think we will in the. After the summer, I think it's great to have some different text. We did it before with Google Gemini. What was the old Bard? Google Bard and ChatGPT.
Yeah. Do a comparison episode.
The comparison episode.
That'd be good. Yeah,
because I think the number one is still ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Google Gemini is the second, and I think the Claude you just talked about.
Claude could be the third running, especially in Europe. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, and it's all under development, but that's everything.
Yeah, well, they were all under development. Yeah. They're all at the same phase. But I think, with this podcast, I think it's we'll get criticized sometimes because people call it the Generative AI and Recruitment show. But I think that generative AI is by far the easiest use case for recruiters. So it makes a lot of sense for us to focus on these tools because they're easy to use. Yeah. They're affordable, they're cheap, they're free usually.
Cheap or free.
Yeah. So I think these tools, you can see that just developing, and some get slightly worse over a period of time where you go, I'm doing the same prompt, same sort of text input, and I'm not quite getting the same outcome. Because that's pretty much what led me astray from ChatGPT or Gemini was I was getting sort of fed up with getting the same answers, or you put something in, you hope for something useful, and you just get like the thing that bugs me is you get the same with press releases nowadays, especially in the recruitment technology sphere, where we get a press release and every word is in capitals, right? Every single word in a lead starts with a capital. You go, well, that's obviously AI generated because that wasn't there before. No. And you just ask for like, okay, make sure that you don't do excessive use of capitals in whatever output you give me, and it's just going to give you excessive use of capitals. So I think it definitely led me towards Claude and other tools just to try and see what other options are out there. Yeah, we have some other options.
Yeah, well, we have some other options. What Claude already had an iOS app, and yesterday they had also for me the Android app. Yes.
Yeah.
So
the inferior systems have to get their own app too.
System. We do have that sound.
We have the sound effects.
So next we have Perplexity.
Yeah.
It's an AI model that's known for its innovative approach to generating human-like text.
Yeah, again, yeah.
What I also really like, some small step to the ChatGPT 4.0.
Yeah.
Was it
no,
O. Small O.
Small O. Don't know why. But
that's but it didn't work on my because the voice. So it's not human-like text. It's the voice. It's more human. Mm-hmm. So we will test it later on. I've got a tool with me.
Oh God.
But we do it later on in the news.
Oh, you've got another tool, did you?
I've got another tool, and
it's God. Paid subscription again?
No subscription.
Is that because that's all the budget of our AI and recruitment show? Just the budget leaves sort of.
It's a physical AI tool, so it's not software.
A physical AI tool. Okay, I'm curious now. Yeah. Okay,
but first, unlike other AI tools, Perplexity is relying heavily on large language models. They take a different route. So
it's still LLM, like same, but it's different.
It's different because it starts by understanding the context of your query.
Yeah.
Ensuring that it grasps the essence of your questions before diving into the vast sea of information,
which is good. Yeah,
I think it's good. This approach sets Perplexity apart from the other tools. So step one revolves around understanding the question.
Yeah,
instead of
output.
Give you some rubbish output. So. And the tool I've brought with me gives a lot of shit. It's really is. But okay. So
well, listeners can look forward to that.
Yeah. It really wants to comprehend the nuances of your query. So it delves into the meaning behind your words, ensuring that it accurately captures your intent.
Yeah, well, it's good. I think that's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
So if you've ever experienced frustration with AI tools,
never.
Never. Providing irrelevant or off-topic responses,
yes.
Perplexity's emphasis on understanding may help.
Yep.
So that sounds great. Step 2 is about conducting thorough research. Once Perplexity has a grasp of your question, it goes on a quest for knowledge.
Makes sense.
It sounds like a movie.
It's on a quest for knowledge.
The quest for knowledge. soon in a cinema near you. It turns your query into a search query and scans through websites in a matter of seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah.
No, I think it's what the other tools maybe are lacking a little bit. That emphasis on getting your query right.
Yeah.
Because even though people have invented a new profession called prompt masters or AI prompt experts, for a lot of people it's very tough to get the right prompt in there to get the exact specific output that you want, because otherwise it's going to hallucinate, it's going to bring up irrelevant information. So it's sort of a 3-step process is what it sounds like, and I've obviously tried it as well. And it makes sense. It makes sense to get to the truth of your question first before you just give a generic output.
Yeah.
Because generic output is what we've been getting a lot. And you can just do prompts again and again and again and again. And it'll do 8 prompts later and you're like, okay, I'm none the wiser, none the further. So I
think the quality will be better, and also the in the tool is mentioning also the sources. So that's also something what's annoying a lot of people, especially journalists.
Yeah, well,
like you, content makers, but
Yeah.
also artists, music, of course.
Where's
a lot
the sources? Yeah, that's. I mean, I've been hammering on in this podcast about it, but it's for me the validity and transparency of sources is so important, because if I can't fact check where it's got that data from, I can't use it.
No.
So sometimes ChatGPT or Gemini will give me just sources, right? Click it, and it's just a dead link, and you go and you try and Google the sentence where it says 78% of all recruiters hate generative AI. I don't know. Yeah. And you Google it and you can't find it anywhere, and you just go, where has this number come from? So if an AI tool is able to use sources successfully, then that is definitely adds some benefit for journalists for sure.
Yeah. So, and there's also a step 3. A response is generated. That's hopeful, because that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Perplexity crafts a response tailored to your specific query. The generated text is linked back to its original source, as we just mentioned. So it's a sort of co-pilot. I think this is maybe better if you need accurate information for journalists, for science, for schools.
Yeah, I think
universities.
I think so. I mean, it's well worth a try, right? I mean, there's no point in writing your thesis on research that doesn't exist, or writing an article, in our case, research that doesn't exist. So, because I vividly remember one of the first few times I tried to use ChatGPT, and I asked it for like research information based on this and this topic. And it just gave me random numbers and random sentences that sounded really good and sounded belief-worthy. And you go, let me just check it, right? Because I'm not going to publish anything without checking it. And it's nowhere to be found. So it's just made it up. And I know the first few months of ChatGPT it had a real tendency to hallucinate. I know it's gotten less, but it's still something to keep your eye on, because we, like as a media platform, we're not going to publish anything that we can't fact check. Yeah. If it's just one source, it's not enough.
So, who are the people behind Perplexity? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
What country they?
We'll do a bit of a live search
before we go to the Chinese one. That's the Ernie. That's what I know.
We're doing some live googling here. It's very positive about itself, but let's see where. If we can find who are the persons who is behind Perplexity.
Let's ask.
Okay, so it's San Francisco, so
San Francisco.
Silicon Valley.
Okay.
It's got 55 employees, which is not a lot. It was founded August 2022, so it's 23 months ago. So that's a startup if I've ever seen one. And it has access to all the sort of different. So it's quite interesting. It says it has access to GPT-4, Claude 3.5, Mistral, obviously, Llama 3, and an experimental Perplexity model. So it's sort of combining all AI models into one, it seems like. And it was founded by a couple of engineers with backgrounds in back-end systems, AI and machine learning. So the CEO is called, let's see, Srinivas.
Okay. So, and the Mistral one is the French one.
Sorry,
We talked in the past already about Mistral. I think it's the French one.
It's the French one, yeah. And as of 2024, it says Perplexity has raised 165 million in funding, valuing the company at over $1 billion.
Wow.
oh, you should have done something with this, Martijn.
Yes.
Oh, it includes Jeff Bezos, unsurprisingly, the
Okay.
investors. So, yeah, billion-dollar company, and you've never heard of it.
No. And they don't use Baidu's Ernie?
No, they don't use Baidu's Ernie because that is one of the companies that probably even less people know. Had you heard of Baidu before this?
Baidu, yes.
Baidu, yeah, okay.
Yes,
yeah, well, okay.
Yes.
Well, we're tech savvy.
I don't do the shopping there, but
no. Well, no.
It's much more than shopping.
It's much more than shopping. It's
bank, everything.
Everything. It's an all-in-one platform, and we get press releases that say people, oh, we're an all-in-one platform. No, you're not. Because Baidu's an all-in-one platform. Yeah. It does everything, like banking. Like it's basically Google for Chinese people in China. So they've got their own AI model called Ernie Turbo, like none related to Sesame Street, as Martijn said. Mm-hmm. And it's from China, and it focuses on really high speed and accurate natural language processing. Their website is naturally in Chinese, but with the help of a VPN and Google Translate, I was able to give it some queries. So if you search for Baidu Ernie Turbo, you're not going to find it very easily on Google. So it's available at yiyan.baidu.com. So it's spelled with a Y as in yen, yiyan.baidu.com. And you'll need to enter your mobile number to sign in. So with it already has 300 million users, obviously mainly in China. But it's very impressive. It's very similar to what we're used to in ChatGPT. But it seems to be more advanced. Mm-hmm. Like a text to video button that's just there for free. Free users can just use that. That's not part of ChatGPT. It's set to have 200 million daily queries. And it is also the sort of backbone of a Baidu Comet. So what Baidu have done is Baidu have not sat still. They've made a bunch of their tools based on their model. Yeah. So it's an AI coding assistant. It has a code adoption rate of 46%, and that has resulted in a staggering 190,000 applications out of there. So, but I also noticed like the images it creates, because obviously we use images. Mm-hmm. That's something I've dabbled in a lot, trying to create photorealistic images, to use for articles, because you can't go on Getty and buy $200 images there for every article. So we need to be judicious with that. And I noticed that the images I've been able to create with Baidu look far more realistic than Copilot or I'm blanking on OpenAI's image model.
They use
total blank. Again, it's a summer episode, people.
Yes. Okay, I dive in my...
We're going to find the name of it because I can't stand it. So you have Baidu's image, and you have Microsoft Copilot, and you have OpenAI's. I can't, for the life of me.
No.
Can we find it?
Create.
DALL-E.
DALL-E.
Sorry, people. So DALL-E. But compared to DALL-E, it's better. I would say it's honestly better. From what I've been able to create, photorealistic is a very obviously big term, but it looks good.
Yeah, but DALL-E isn't the best.
No, the worst one is Photoshop's AI creation. Have you tried that? If you want to create people with that, they usually have 7 fingers.
No, we use it to make
make images,
to make
backgrounds,
backgrounds, or remove backgrounds.
But I was impressed. I was really impressed with Baidu. Baidu's Ernie Pilot.
So if they use people, is it an international people? Or do you see more Chinese people?
It's the same. No, it seems to be very similar. Okay. So a person isn't Asian by any chance, because just the it wouldn't make sense maybe, but maybe in a few years' time we'll conclude that China's also won the AI race. Who knows?
So and you put in your mobile phone number?
Yeah.
On a Chinese website. Okay.
Yeah.
So only...
well, they can call me if they want to sponsor the podcast or...
Oh, they listen with us now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't say crazy things about China.
Yeah, but it's weird because we have a fear of China, whereas all of our business is fully reliant on China. Every battery we use, we've got devices here. I pretty much know for sure that they're built in China, or majority of us built in China. So the fear of China does not apply to me.
Well, I think because that's yesterday and today in the news, the Dutch ASML. ASML.
Yep. The chip builders.
The chip machine builders. The US government says you're not allowed anymore, or they think the stock markets think it will be restricted to sell those machines and the services to Chinese companies.
Right.
Companies.
Or
governments.
Yeah, well, that's
because it's Baidu, I think, also.
Yeah, probably.
Not 100% a company, but also
probably, yeah. But if anything, we got to give the Chinese government credit for adopting innovation.
Yeah.
I can't see the Dutch government doing that.
Nope. We've got in the Netherlands. We got invest in our Dutch LLM 15 million euros.
Oh, wow. 15 million. You could almost buy half a striker of that in football.
Okay.
But I think
it's time.
I think it's absolutely time. I think we
AI news.
You love doing that, don't you? The voice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Do it again. AI news.
It's fine. Once was fine.
So in our first news item, it's an interview I read in the Dutch Financial Times. It's called the Financiële Dagblad. With Haim Israel from Bank of America Merrill Lynch. He warns that companies who use AI within 2 or 5 years will survive. So companies who doesn't will go bankrupt. The current AI revolution is unique because the necessary infrastructure is already in place. So we've got a lot of innovations the last couple hundred of years. Like the steam train. Is steam train? How do you say that? The stoomtrein?
Steam train.
Steam train.
Yeah.
But then we have to make the rails, etc. But now we already have the internet. And
we've got the infrastructure
We've got the infrastructure already.
Yep.
So that's why he thinks the development will be very rapidly. And if you don't do anything with it, you will be dead.
You will die.
Yeah, you will die.
Yeah, that's the good news then. Yeah. Very good news.
Yeah. So they also have some research. 40% of Dutch companies are not yet using AI. I think if we look at our AI, not our AI recruitment part. Well, it's part of the
recruitment tech survey.
The recruitment tech survey. It's about beginning this year. Still, 1 of 3 recruiters don't use. Something like AI, ChatGPT.
I think most researchers say something similar. Yeah. I don't see. I struggle with that because what we've also tested is that people don't often realize they're using AI.
Also.
So people go, I don't use it. Yeah, you do. You use Copilot. Oh, wait, you do use AI. So, whether it's through an advanced screening algorithm, or it's just a simple AI tool, it's integrated literally anywhere. So I would find it really odd and weird if 4 out of 10 people or 4 out of 10 companies don't use it. That seems a lot to me.
Well, if you look at some tools now, a couple of weeks ago here in the studio for recruitmenttech.nl in our monthly we have the Carve, with a V of Victor at the end.
Yep.
I think Scotty Technologies, they are really try to
pushing
automate
the agenda.
The process. They started more like a text tool or a robot tool, a small tool, but now they want to revamp the whole recruitment process. So you need less recruiters, for example.
Yeah, well, the recruiters are scarce to begin with anyway. So
scarce,
it's not going to replace anyone.
Yeah. Also, I think it's important because there are some drawbacks in the article about the high energy consumption in data centers, etc. So it's not only party with AI.
It's not a big party, no, because it asks. That could be a topic for another episode. I don't think people quite realize how much data and energy consumption goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be good to sort of find out how much it really costs the planet to do one prompt.
Yeah.
Just one prompt. Yeah. Because there's servers, just more and more server buildings anywhere in the world. The server centers, they're massive. I know some of them are built in the most environmental friendly way, but it's obviously it's absolutely going to pollute. So, yeah, good. Lovely news there.
Yes. Let's go to Canada.
Yes, let's go to Canada. I came across this on the train today. Where I was reading about where copyright is something I've always been interested in, because if I'm writing something and an AI model uses that to give someone else an output that is very similar, I'm worried about that. So in Canada, the federal court was tasked with a decision in a new copyright case, and it's being asked to sort of declare that only humans and not AI can be considered authors under Canada's copyright law. So it's the first court case, at least I've heard of testing how the Copyright Act treats artificially generated content, like images, text, videos by systems such as ChatGPT or all the other systems that we've just mentioned. And it goes on to quote a very interesting man by the name of David Fewer, who's the director and general counsel of the University of Ottawa's Samuelson Glushko Canadian Internet Policy and Public Interest Clinic. That's the longest name I've ever seen in the world. But he says, it's really the aim of the clinic to lay down in bedrock that only humans are authors under the law. Yeah. And he says, like, AI and copyright are in an inflection point, and we're at the start of a wave of content being put before our eyes that was generated by an AI and not by a human. And it's important at this point that just before this stuff enters the commercial zone, I think it's already entered the commercial zone, but anyway, in a really serious way, that we get the rules down. Yeah. Well, what do you make of that?
We talked in one of our previous shows also about now AI is still learning from humans, but if you got a lot of AI generated content, AI will learn from AI, and then
the vicious cycle of bad content. Yeah. No, but like it's worrisome to me, because you can see it. The ChatGPT was released November 2022. Am I right? Yeah, or somewhere like that. And 2 months later, there were books on Amazon where I go, that is like co-authored by AI. No, that's just been written by AI. And, obviously you read it, and it's horrible to read, and you can't really get through it. But to me, this is still the biggest issue. It's still absolutely, I don't think the AI Act, as much as we've talked about it, is really clear on what it does with copyright. Oh. It's a lot about, the way systems are used, and that's all fair and good. But if AI is still being trained, because I read another article where even YouTube, who have said like AI cannot train based on YouTube data, I saw somewhere that Apple's AI system has used YouTube to train their AI to make videos. Like, let me just look at Mr. Beast's YouTube channel. It's very popular among young people. I don't get why, but that's fine. And let me just and just extract all the data from that, and then use that to create, it's just an AI video. No, it's trained on the most famous YouTubers in the world. Like, we have to draw a line somewhere. And I think it'd be interesting to see what comes out of this in Canada. Yeah. I know Canada's quite a progressive country, and it'd be good to see something along the lines similar in every country, and especially in Europe. Like, get me a copyright law that says AI can't be trained on my data, or give me an option. Yeah.
I think it's interesting also to ask this question to after the summer, we will also do an episode with a creative agency who makes campaigns and also using AI. So how they look at
do they look at that? Because it's just I still struggle with it. I realize that some of the stuff I'm putting out in the world is going to be used to train AI models, and that's not because I'm so worried about myself and look at me, I write great articles and AI is going to copy me. I'm not. No. That's not the thing. But we need to have a sense of creativity, and it's absolutely fine. We've been over this. I use AI for various tasks, and it's great, and it helps me in tremendous ways sometimes. But it's we can't have AI written books like writing in the style of Dave Eggers. No, please let Dave Eggers write it in the style of Dave Eggers and no one else, right? And it worries me.
there was some big acquisition news in June.
Very big news. If you hadn't heard, you lived under a rock, obviously, but it's big news here in Holland because last month, Bullhorn, a global leader in cloud-based recruitment software, has acquired TextKernel, a provider of AI-driven talent sourcing and matching solutions. Obviously, TextKernel have been a guest on our show before, and they're very good. We're good with them. We're good friends with them. And this acquisition was announced on June 18, and it marks a significant consolidation in the recruitment technology industry, I think. The financial details of the deal have not been disclosed, but are rumored to be in the region of 300 million euros, which is a lot of money. But what do you make of all this news? Because a lot of competitors of TextKernel also use Bullhorn. So that's interesting.
But if you look at the information TextKernel provides, they say we still work for competitors because the data still remains separated.
Yeah.
I know Bullhorn did a lot of acquisitions.
They have, yes.
And most of them, almost all of them, are fully integrated.
Back integrated into the tool.
So I don't know, will the name TextKernel be in the market in the following years? And if you are a competitor,
how do you feel with that? Yeah.
What do you do? Are you going to a competitor? Because TextKernel already bought Sovereign.
Yep.
I think 2 years ago. So Sovereign was the biggest competitor.
Yep.
So who will help you with? So maybe it's also a chance for startups or for other companies who are in the same field as TextKernel to compete.
Yeah, well, it definitely make their job a bit tougher, hasn't it? Right? Because consolidation, I don't think it's a bad thing. Because sometimes you go, why are there, 200,000 tools out there who roughly do the same thing? We know we've been over this with the vacancy writing, where you go, it all seems very much alike. Why aren't you just doing it once properly and rather than split through 400 times? But it's, we'll see where it's headed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we stay into the animal scene with the bullhorn.
That's a nice segue.
We go from a bullhorn, we go to a rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got a tool.
Oh, God.
It's the, I've got a tool and it's the Rabbit R1 gadget. I've got it here, but I also, you can't see this. I can use this camera to make it more close. It's orange. So it's not only for Dutch people who went to the football in Germany, which we lost in the half finals. It's a tool, and it's an AI tool. And if you can push, there's a button, there's a scroll wheel on it, and there's a rabbit on it. So I can put it here and use this special camera. So it's a rabbit on it, and if you hold it, then the ears of the rabbit will listen, and I can ask something. What do you think of AI for recruitment? Now the rabbit's thinking.
AI for recruitment can offer benefits such as streamlining the hiring process, improving candidate matching, and reducing bias in decision-making. However, it also raises concerns about privacy, fairness, and potential discrimination. It's essential to balance the advantages with ethical considerations and ensure transparency in AI recruitment practices.
Okay. Thank you. So there's a camera on it, and if you you can twice, then there will be a camera on it. So a camera, and then you can make a picture of a mouse.
So keep in the animal kingdom, yeah.
What is this?
Taking a look now. This appears to be a black camera or recording device. It has a lens and a body shape consistent with a compact digital camera or action camera.
No, it's a fucking mouse.
I think you've just proven to me how useful this is.
Yes,
it's identifying a computer mouse as a digital camera.
It's also you can shake it to go to the menu, and then the menu is away.
How much did this cost you?
And it's 200.
Don't tell me it's 200 euros.
What is this?
I wonder how it's going to identify the fake plant.
Taking a look now. This does not appear to be a question about pricing or cost. The image shows a potted plant with lush green leaves placed on a metal stand with a wooden surface. It seems to be a decorative indoor plant display, but I cannot determine the specific...
Okay, so 1 out of 2. That's fine.
Please let me know if you have any other questions about...
No, it's a fake plant from IKEA. Okay, thank you. So I bought this.
Give it one more.
It was very, very promising. So I can put... What is this?
Okay,
a photo of a glass.
Glass of water. Yeah. Oh, it's sorry, it's the empty coffee mug.
No, this is not just a photo of a glass.
Okay.
The image shows a clear glass containing what appears to be a liquid, likely a drink, placed on a table next to a small white device, which looks like a Roku media player.
No, it's not the Roku media player. It's the Rode microphone.
Rode microphone. But it's close enough. 2 out of 3, I give it. Yeah.
It's now. Well, I use it in the garden to make a picture a picture of some plants and ask them what plants it is.
Fake IKEA plant.
Also, I think 50% okay.
Accuracy,
so the
Martijn, you know they've got apps for this, right?
Yes, I know. So should you buy this thing? No,
shouldn't.
Don't buy this. Don't try this at home. Don't buy this thing. Don't do it. Okay.
So, but 200 euros because
200 US dollars
plus shipping.
Yeah, plus shipping, and I ordered it from 5 months ago. No, it's a US company.
What's it called?
But if you look for reviews, Rabbit R1.
Rabbit R1.
Rabbit. If you look for reviews about it, and I didn't receive it already, all the reviews were terrible.
Why?
So
yeah.
But okay, but. Yeah. There are also more tools.
Well, yes.
More expensive with a monthly subscription.
Absolutely.
Most of them. So there will be in the future AI tools without
hardware,
without using your phone.
Yeah.
Now it's using Wi-Fi, but you can also put in your
SIM card.
SIM card. Yeah. And then you don't use your phone. But I don't. What you can ask questions about. Give me 5 questions for a marketeer, for example. That works. Okay, you can also ask ChatGPT on your phone.
I don't see the added benefit in this.
Me neither.
Why would people pay $200 for this?
Okay. Next topic.
Yeah. Well, it's over to our monthly AI in recruitment correspondent, Advanced Chief Evangelist, Laurens Walling. What do you have in store for us this time, Laurens?
The recruitment process is outdated. For ages, we've used cover letters, resumes and interviews. Many people still rely on agencies to find jobs, even though almost everyone books their own vacations. Yet, navigating the traditional job market is still difficult. In the world of dating, much has changed. No one gets married off by their parents anymore. You don't need to go to a bar and get tipsy to ask somebody out. Since dating apps arrived, things are much easier. With likes, matches and chatting, it's simple to start a conversation. It's time to change recruitment in the same way. We need smart job suggestions tailored to our profiles. We should be able to swipe, like and show our interest. Companies should apply to us. Hiring managers should use AI to pre-select candidates, and when there's a mutual like, they can easily start a conversation. It's time for a revolution in the job market. Forget job ads and expensive recruitment campaigns. Let's create pools of followers, candidates followed by interesting hiring managers and vice versa. In this way, we can easily connect. Let's start dating in the job market.
Okay, interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's always good to hear him.
Yes.
It's good to see what he's got to say about the industry. Yeah.
And after the summer, he's our first guest.
Yeah, it's going to be when he's back from holiday. When everyone's back from holiday, then it would be good to get to know him a little bit more.
Yeah, we can ask him to do his column live in the studio.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, well, it's going to be a very lengthy column, hopefully, because he's going to stay here for a minute and a half, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay. So what's next?
Yeah, well, what's next?
Yes, next. Oh, back to our main discussion.
Yeah, because
because we already forgot. We don't talk about rabbits anymore.
No, we don't talk about useless $200 devices anymore.
Let's go back to the other AI models.
So I just want to touch back on Claude because we talked about copyright as being one of the things that we're worried about with all these generative AI tools. And AI like Claude seem to be putting more of an emphasis to ensure like ethical considerations are met. Which is obviously crucial when you deal with all this sensitive information you put into it. And I came across an article written by Mika Sosnovsky, I hope I pronounced your name correct, on Medium, which did a sort of deep dive into that. So Claude's training is based on a constitution, and it draws from a collection of ethical principles. So they say what makes Claude so unique is that its programming is designed to self-monitor and critique its outputs based on core human values and morals. So that's what she writes, at least. And Anthropic states that some of the sources that have contributed to writing that constitution include Apple's Terms of Services, the UN Declaration of Human Rights, Trust and Safety, Best Practices, principles proposed by other AI research labs, as well as their own research findings. And one way Claude has learned how to be ethical, as written by Mika Sosnovsky, is through a sort of binary 0-1 penalty system, and it allows the AI to effectively monitor itself for discriminatory or harmful responses instead of just relying on human feedback, which obviously has a high likelihood of bias. It's well worth a read. Check that out. It's Mika Sosnovsky's article, Medium. But it's interesting to see how Claude has embedded that into it, and that's something I've not really seen with the other tools, where they put such a high emphasis on bias, like making sure it's ethical.
So it's self-evaluating their own.
It's self-evaluating its responses, basically. Yeah, and as a user, you don't see that one-on-one, but you have to trust that it's in there.
Yeah.
So, but it's I think that is good. Yeah. Claude has been one of the winners, I think, of this episode so far.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, of course, because and this is only looking on a discrimination, bias thing, etc. Maybe you should have something like if you know the quality of the response.
Yeah.
Something like it's 80% quality is 80%, or is 90%, or is 30%. But then
you know what you're up to as a user.
Response. Yeah.
No, you can just see 20%. It's a bad vacancy text. Don't use it. Well,
yes.
Oh, let me just write something myself.
That kind of tools already exist, of course.
True.
Okay. Let's move to our ChatGPT news segment. ChatGPT news. So ChatGPT may soon not need human questions to function, making a significant step forward, making AI more autonomous, which is both exciting and unsettled. OpenAI is developing an AI model, not named after an animal, a rabbit, or
named after a
fruit. Strawberry, capable of independently browsing the internet and conducting follow-up research without human prompts.
Yeah.
This development represents a major advancement in AI, potentially surpassing the capabilities of ChatGPT.
Who knows?
It's still in some beta.
Yeah, super beta version
form, but interesting. Because ChatGPT and all the other AI models rely on pre-existing data and specific user queries, and Strawberry is designed to understand the world independently.
It's just, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it might just be something that will never see the light of day.
No, it sounds great. If OpenAI successfully implements Strawberry, it could revolutionize the AI landscape.
Well, yeah. If it does it really autonomously, it would. Yeah. Yeah.
But we're also talking already 20 years about self-driving cars. So I don't know how quick this will be.
It's one of those. If we're not if self-driving cars, self-driving AI, I don't know if the world needs it.
No,
putting it. Yeah, that's probably what I have to say about it. I don't know if the world needs it. It's like they've let's call it strawberry, just something cute that everyone loves, and it's gonna rule the world.
Yeah, like a nice rabbit.
Yeah.
Nobody loves.
Yeah.
But yeah, if this is, it's will there be a time you listen to there are already tools to make podcasts, but really
autonomously,
yeah.
Be great if we're no longer
because
needed.
this is now. I think that's also
and
discussion.
we could do a daily episode.
You can do it. You can make it by AI, but if you like it as a human.
Oh, but have you seen? You're one of the people that I know that searches YouTube a lot, right? You're on YouTube a lot. Just the amount of AI made videos, and they're no fun to watch.
No.
Like,
no, but
you start a video and it has a human in there somewhere in the thumbnail. And you click it and you go, oh, that's interesting. Let me just see. And it starts. The AI voice starts, and I go, oh dear. Yeah. Like,
but
it doesn't work.
Automatically, you can upload it.
Yeah,
automatically.
sure, but it's just polluting YouTube too, which is annoying. And the ChatGPT news I have is all about Scarlett Johansson, who has spoken out against OpenAI and deepfake technology, saying it was because the voice, the imitation of her voice that you're able to do with ChatGPT's update. It was so disturbing, and she was so angry because she says, well, her voice was mimicked for another ChatGPT system called Sky, I think. Yeah. Sky, yeah. And the actor made headlines earlier this year, obviously, when she issued a public statement saying for OpenAI's chief executive, Sam Altman, who'd contacted her for the voice for Sky, but then she declined for personal reasons, and then the voice that came up was a lot like her voice. So, it's not really positive ChatGPT news, but it's, I don't know what they're playing at there.
Why just give her a call in advance and say we can pay you for that, and then there's something possible.
Yeah, but I don't think she wanted to have anything to do with it.
No, but then you ask some other.
Obviously, there's
actors.
other actors with nice voices, and obviously she's a great actress. But like, just
I think people
things like this is what will turn people away from it. Things like this is what's going to anger people. It's going to get you in court. It's going to cost you a ton of money because you're infringing someone's voice. Yeah. So don't do that.
I know we discussed not to talk too much about politics, but there will be AI movies from Biden
absolutely.
or Trump or about this. People think it's real and
oh god, yeah. Well, the
fake news
assassination attempt or not assassination, who knows? Well. Yeah, I mean, I the first thing when I saw that news, I thought this is going to be a great documentary one day. But you'd come to a point where maybe AI is already creating these documentaries, the next day. And they're out the next day. And they're not going to be good to watch, obviously. But, I don't know what to make of all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's all for today's episode.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed our discussion and ramblings on all the latest AI models, their impact on recruitment. And also want to say thanks again to our sponsor, 8Advanced, the market leader in recruitment. They've trained their AI on a staggering 85 million resumes. So let 8Advanced also accurately predict the best job for your candidates. Go to 8advanced.com to read more about their solutions.
So, and stay tuned for more insights and updates on recruitment technology via our website, aiinrecruitment.com, recruitmenttech.com, .nl, .be, and our .de. And our next episode will be after the summer break. So I wish all of you a great summer.
Yeah, and remember, if you're a recruitment tech vendor or recruiting the Benelux, don't miss the chance to submit your entry for the Recruitment Tech Award 2024, the AI in Recruitment Benelux Award, by September 5th. Visit recruitmenttech.nl/awards for more details.
Yes, bye-bye. Adios.
Have a good summer. Bye-bye.
Yes.